It started as an ordinary Saturday morning, the kind where you think nothing can go wrong. I was on my porch, coffee in hand, when 5 strangers marched up my driveway in black shirts reading HOA police. Their leader, a blonde woman in a sharp suit, told me I was under arrest for violating neighborhood law. The problem was there's no such thing as neighborhood law, and they didn't know who they were dealing with. I live in a quiet, HOA-managed neighborhood, the kind where rules are printed in binders thick enough to stop a bullet. But I've never seen HOA police before, at least not until that morning. I was sipping coffee on my porch when a convoy of black SUVs stopped in front of my house. Out stepped a blonde woman in a fitted black blazer, followed by 4 muscular men in matching shirts reading HOA police. She walked right up the steps and, without introducing herself, announced, "Sir, you are in violation of community law. We're placing you under arrest." Her tone was flat, rehearsed, like she'd practiced it in the mirror. I didn't move. Years in the FBI had taught me to read people. The badges on their shirts weren't official. The patches were cheap, embroidery, and the men standing behind her had their hands clenched like amateur tough guys. "Arrest me?" I said, keeping my voice calm. "On what authority?" "You failed to remove an unauthorized structure from your property," she replied. "We have the right to detain you until the HOA board convenes." If you love uncovering unbelievable real-life drama, you're in the right place. Hit like, drop a comment, share this video, and subscribe to QZ Stories, where the truth hits harder than fiction. It took everything in me not to smile. This wasn't just an HOA dispute. This was impersonation of law enforcement, a federal crime. I leaned against the railing, giving them a long, quiet look. "You know," I said, "falsely arresting someone can land you in prison. Pretending to be law enforcement, that's up to 3 years, federal." Her eyes narrowed. "We have jurisdiction here." Behind her, one of the men shifted uncomfortably. He was sweating, nervous. They weren't professionals. They were playing dress-up, and they had no idea I was an FBI agent with my badge sitting in my back pocket. I took a step forward, slow and deliberate. "Here's the thing. I work for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and right now you're on my porch threatening to kidnap me under fake authority." That froze them. The woman tried to recover, waving a folder in my face. "These are legal documents." I glanced at them. Printed in Times New Roman. No letterhead, no seal. Completely fake. "You've got about 10 seconds to leave," I said, "or I call in real law enforcement, and trust me, they won't be as polite." The men glanced at each other. The woman didn't move. She thought I was bluffing. I pulled my phone from my pocket. "Dispatch, this is Agent 4213, I said loudly. "Requesting immediate local PD response for suspected impersonation of officers, possible kidnapping attempt." Her face went pale. They tried to stand their ground, but the sound of sirens changed everything. I'd given dispatch my exact location, and our local police were only 3 minutes away. "Who called the cops?" one of the men muttered. "I did," I replied. "And when they arrive, they'll run your IDs, search your vehicles, and find out exactly how you got those shirts." The woman's confidence cracked. "We're just enforcing HOA policy." "HOA policy doesn't give you the right to detain people," I cut in. "And it certainly doesn't give you the right to impersonate law enforcement." The first cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. 2 uniformed officers stepped out, hands resting on their belts. I identified myself immediately, showing my badge and ID. The officers' expressions changed. They knew the situation just escalated to federal territory. Within minutes, the HOA police were lined up against the SUV being searched. One of the men was carrying zip ties, duct tape, and a printed arrest warrant signed only with the initials HB. It wasn't just a prank. This was an organized attempt to intimidate, or worse. In the days that followed, the truth came out. The woman was the HOA president's sister. They'd cooked up the fake police unit to scare non-compliant homeowners into obeying the strictest rules. The charges were serious: impersonation of law enforcement, attempted unlawful detention, conspiracy. My report went straight to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Neighbors came by to thank me. Some admitted they'd been bullied by the same group but never fought back because they feared retaliation. I kept my tone calm, explaining to each one, "The law protects you. No matter what title someone gives themselves, they have no right to detain you without proper authority." Weeks later, I got a call from the prosecutor. All 5 pled guilty. The woman got the longest sentence, 3 years, federal time. Every time I walk out on my porch now, I look at the street and remember that morning. It's a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people aren't strangers in the dark. They're the ones who think they make the rules. And in my neighborhood, they learned the hard way. They don't.